Hello world, it is Saturday, December 5th, and kind of a cloudy, overcast day in Defiance and chilly. Today is our Christmas sale, our Christmas rummage sale at the church, so if you are in need of some Christmas decor or Christmas gifts, there's lots of different things to choose from. Excuse me. So think about stopping by and supporting the missions of the church. Today's devotion is entitled Burning for Christmas, and it's written by Matthew Laney. Matthew bases his devotion upon 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 11 through 13, a New Revised Standard Version. Since all these things are to be dissolved in this way, what sort of persons ought you to be, waiting for the coming day of God, because of which the heavens will be set ablaze and dissolved, and the elements will melt with fire? But in accordance with his promise, we wait for new heavens and a new earth where righteousness is at home. In Matthew's devotion, as a child, I received two vastly different messages about forest fires. Forest fires are bad, number one, and number two, forest fires are good. On the one hand, Smokey the Bear told me only you can prevent forest fires, and I believed him. I had the power not to play with matches anywhere, especially in the woods. If I went camping, I learned where and how to safely build, tend, and extinguish a campfire. On the other hand, I also learned that forest fires play an important role in our ecosystems. They clear out dead wood that would take much longer to break down. Forest fires replenish the soil and provide nutrition for the next generation of trees and plants. Some species of trees actually depend on fire to germinate their seeds. Many creatures are very at home in scorched forests. With all due respect to Smokey, 2 Peter's vision is more attuned to the value of holy fire to clear out the dead wood, replenish the soil, and germinate seeds of new heavens and the new earth, where righteousness is at home. The real burning question is this passage. In this passage is this: what sort of person ought you to be while we wait for the fire to be kindled? Pessimistic or hopeful, grumpy or grateful? Will we see the fire as the end of the world or the beginning of another? What in your life needs to be burned up or melted down to make way for new life? And the prayer: Fiery Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. Amen. Well, a couple of thoughts came to mind as I was reading this devotion myself, and one was when I was around 10, 11 years old, and we lived in Clare, Michigan, which is a little town in the middle of the Lower Peninsula of 2,000 people, and kids in my neighborhood, we would often get together and ride our bikes packed with our tents and our sleeping bags and go camp in the woods. And some of the kids that I would go with were Boy Scouts, and they knew how to do exactly what Matthew said, create a safe fire that we would have, and we would sit around and talk. And in the morning, I remember riding my bike home, wasn't that far, to get either hamburger or eggs or something that we would cook on the open fire. But it was important, I remember, to my friends that we build and tend the fire in the right way. The other thing this brings to mind as I'm reading it is that sometimes we do have to burn things down in our life, I guess you might say. Change ourselves, let ourselves be reshaped. If we're truly followers of Christ, that means giving up those things that are not good for us or good for creation and making a change. I myself see a lot of these images as metaphors for changing ourselves, not as literal interpretations of what's going to happen at the end of the world. Because I really truly feel that following Christ means being cognizant of how we're living in this life and changing where we need to change. And sometimes that's a fiery mess to change who we are and how we are. It's hard. It's not easy at all to change how we are. And I think he kind of gets to that in his last paragraph about talking about what sort of person are we going to be, grumpy or grateful. pessimistic or hopeful or optimistic? And is the fire the beginning or the end? And I think if we're really interested in change, it's just the beginning. So think about your life. Think about what could change in the way you interact in the world to make this world a better place. And then try to work to make that become part of who you are, because it is part of who you're created to be. Hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow, which is Sunday. So I hope you tune into our Facebook Live worship. Take care.